Hey everyone, Mia here. Choosing a camcorder can be tough with all the different choices on the market today, but if you're looking for a camera with a little something extra to offer, you might consider one of the 4 high-end Sony Handycams we're about to go over. They each have a unique feature that distinguishes them from the rest of the crowd, from projectors to tons of built-in solid-state storage to dual lenses for capturing 3D video. Each of these Handycams has a special something that separates it from the pack. Well, let's start with the basics. I'll go over the features that these camcorders have in common, and then we'll branch out into their specialties. All 4 models have a back-illuminated Exmor R CMOS sensor, except one. The TD20V has 2 sensors because it has dual lenses. We'll discuss those more in a few minutes. And all models shoot 1080p HD video at 60 frames per second and have a cinematic mode, which shoots at 24 frames per second. They record in AVC HD format at various bit rates, topping out at 28 megabits per second. They all feature Sony's Optical SteadyShot technology with active mode for image stabilization. In the single lens camcorders, you can see how the lens actually moves to keep the image steady when the camera tilts or shakes. Even zoomed in, handheld video is far less shaky with active mode on. In fact, once you turn active mode on and use the extended zoom, you may be content just to leave it on all the time because it makes your video look so much smoother. Because all of these camcorders are at the top of their class, they have all the connectivity you'd expect, like a stereo mini jack input for a microphone, a headphone jack, Accessory Shoe for external lights, mics, and such, and HDMI Output with Bravia sync to Sony televisions. They also all feature this small USB DirectCopy Cable that tucks neatly into the hand strap. Now let's break down these camcorders to showcase their specialties. We'll start with the 2 projection camcorders, the PJ710V and the PJ760V. Of all the 4 camcorders that we're featuring, the 710 has the lowest price point. It has 32 gigabytes of onboard storage, which translates to roughly 11 hours of HD video footage. And as you can see, a projector is built right into the back of the LCD display. Now the 760 is almost identical, except it touts a whopping 96 gigabytes of embedded flash memory that can store up to 38 hours of HD footage without needing a memory card. The 760 also has a color electronic viewfinder with a pull-out diopter, which can be helpful on super sunny days when it's hard to see the LCD display. Both of these Handycam projectors have a 640 by 360 resolution output and need a throw distance of about 16 feet to project a 100-inch diagonal image on your wall. But these are short throw projectors, and you can project a much smaller image with only a few feet of space, no problem. They're perfect for recapping family vacations anywhere and anytime. If a projector doesn't interest you much, then the CX760V may be your best choice. This camcorder makes carrying memory cards optional instead of a necessity because it has 96 gigabytes of built-in solid-state storage. That much storage means you can store almost 2 full days' worth of high-def 1080 video on the camcorder itself. It also features a color EVF and pull-out diopter like the PJ760. The only real difference is that it doesn't have that projector built into the LCD display, so the price point drops slightly. Now, each of these 3 camcorders feature a Carl Zeiss Vario Sonar T lens with a 10x optical zoom and a 17x extended zoom. Their focal length range is 26 to 260 millimeters in terms of 35 millimeter equivalents. So these are great little camcorders for long-range telephoto shots or showcasing wide indoor spaces. They all have easily accessible advanced features like tracking focus, embedded GPS, face detection with priority setting, and a night shot infrared system. An assignable dial for focus, exposure, iris, shutter speed, and white balance gives you the manual control you might be craving for custom shots. I always appreciate the zebra and peaking features, which help keep your exposure and focus under control when you're working in manual mode. And you should have no problem seeing them on the 3-inch extra-fine LCD touchscreen displays. All feature true black technology for accurate viewing in the sunlight. Plus, all 3 snap 24.1 megapixel photos and have a built-in flash. And they cram all these features into a camera that still weighs less than 2 pounds. Depending on your need for onboard memory or your desire for a built-in projector, any of these 3 advanced Handycams would make a great HD video companion. But let's say you want something extra special, something you probably won't see many other parents touting to the next softball or soccer game, something with 3D capability and a 3D display. Well, meet the sleek new TD20V. This dual-lens Handycam has 64 gigabytes of built-in solid-state storage and can capture 3D or 2D video and show it to you in 3D on a 3.5-inch extra-fine display that you don't need special glasses to see. The dual Sony G lenses and imagers record full 1920 by 1080 in 3D mode, and each lens features a 10x optical zoom in 3D or a 12x optical zoom in 2D. The focal lengths change in each mode. For 3D, the 35mm equivalent is 29.8 to 298 millimeters. In 2D, that changes to 34.4 to 400 millimeters. Now, the codec for 3D recording is MVC, which can be edited in certain software programs like Sony Vegas 10. And you'll only get to see the 3D images either on the camera's display or a screen that supports 3D, like a 3D television. A dedicated switch on the back of the camcorder lets you easily toggle between 2D and 3D capture. The TD20V also takes 20.4 megapixel still images in 2D mode and is equipped with face detection, golf shots, smile shutter, and various other features all in 2D mode. And what's amazing is even with 2 lenses and 2 imagers, the Handycam still weighs less than 3 pounds. All of these camcorders are small enough to fit in your palm and are easy to operate in any environment. And they all capture great sound with the option of using Dolby Digital 5.1 channel surround sound or Dolby Digital 2-channel stereo. All the cameras come fully supported with a power cord, USB support cable, battery pack, AV connecting cable, software CD-ROM, AC adapter, HDMI cable, and remote. But the 3 2D models also include a lens hood and a step-down ring, which will allow you to use a filter or other kind of accessory that's smaller than the lens diameter size. So now you have an idea of what Sony has to offer in their premier Handycam line. Projectors, massive internal storage, and 3D capture and display are just some of the highlights. With a roundup of Sony's top-of-the-line Handycams, I'm Mia McCormick.
For more information, please visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. You can also connect with us on the web.